Welcome into the latest edition of Chasers Chat, presented by Lamson Dugan Murray. I'm the voice of the Omaha Storm Chasers, Nick Batters, and this week we're chatting with Chasers pitcher, Will Klein. So, Will, you were the Royals representative in the All-Star Futures game a couple of weeks ago in Seattle. How did you find out that you were getting that honor? What was your reaction? Who were you with?
So I was in the family room with my fiance. Then Mitch Meyer called me. I was like, oh gosh, what'd I do? So I was like, I don't know what else Mitch would be calling me for. Then he's like, yeah, you're going to the Futures game. I was like, oh my god. I didn't ever think of that as a possibility or something that could ever happen. Didn't think of myself in that way really. And so that was pretty awesome to be able to share that moment with my fiance as well.
When you look back at the weekend, is there one memory or moment that stands out as one that sticks in your head?
Yeah, I mean, just running out to that mound with, I don't know how many people were there, but there were a whole bunch of people, 3 decks. Regardless of outcome, was just a really cool thing to see running out there.
The day of the game, you shared a picture of your cleats on social media. Tell us about what was going on there. Some Pokemon cleats that you wore in the game?
Yeah, so, I mean, every little kid likes Pokemon, and then, you kind of stop through high school because you get too cool for it. And then you get drafted and signed and get adult money, and they're like, oh, what did I enjoy as a kid that I haven't done in a while? And so that was it. What better way to kind of express myself on the field? And then when the Stadium Custom Kicks people reached out, and Alps Cats, and they kind of worked that up for me, and I couldn't have been happier with how it came out.
Tell us about your Storm Chasers debut. You were called up from AA Northwest Arkansas in the middle of June. You had a great debut. Struck out the side in your first inning, a couple of scoreless innings. What was the adrenaline like? What was it like getting called up to AAA finally?
It was awesome. Shield called me in the office, and they'd already told Marshy he was going. So I was like, okay, I kind of know where this is going. And then so we drove out the next day, had to get fiance and all of our cats in the car and make the drive. But they did well, and then kind of got here, and it's like, all right, just wait until you pitch to kind of get the nerves out. And it was definitely a little nervous waiting to get on the mound and stuff. But after that first strikeout, I was like, okay, it's the same. It's still baseball, and I've just been working ever since.
Tell us about your cats. What are their names? How long have you had them?
We've got 2 cats, Ash and Mango. Ash is a gray, I think he's a Nebulong Maine Coon mix, so he's really poofy. And Mango's just an orange cat. He's the definition of an orange cat. You don't really know what's going on there. Neither does he. Runs into things. And they're nice to have there. When you have a bad day, they're just gonna go lay on you. You have a good day, they're gonna lay on you. They don't know you play baseball, and so it's nice to have them.
You've thrown over half of the Chasers' 20 fastest pitches this season. A few times you've gotten over 100 miles an hour. Tell me the story of the first time that you hit 100 miles an hour. What was that like?
Yeah, I remember it pretty vividly. It was in the Northwoods League All-Star game. Just had adrenaline. I knew it was my last outing for the summer, and so I was like, all right, I have 2 outs. I'm gonna go throw as hard as I could. And so my first couple of pitches, 989 or 98, 99. I was like, oh, maybe I can do it, because I've been up to an 8, but there was enough adrenaline, enough I think caffeine in me that I could give it one go, and so I just tried to throw as hard as I could. I think I yanked it a little bit, but it worked.
You played collegiately at Eastern Illinois with Jimmy Govern, who was a fan favorite with the Storm Chasers last year. Give us your best Jimmy Govern story.
Sophomore year, he was coming around, he slid into home and took out a guy, and then the other I think it went viral. Jacksonville State, they didn't take too kindly, and he just started a massive brawl. So that's the first thing that comes to my mind. That's safe.
I don't know if there's anyone on the field I don't want to mess with. It's Jimmy Govern.
I'd say Nate Eaton's my number 1. Yeah. Jim might be number 2.
Your Instagram bio says that you're a ping pong wizard. Explain that to me.
That hasn't been changed in a while, but I was in a ping pong club at high school, and just playing. And we had a ping pong just table back in the day, and so my brother and I would play a lot, and so it was just something back then that I just haven't changed in a while, because I think it looked boring if it just said Royals organization.
Do you know who the best ping pong player in the clubhouse would be?
I don't know. We'd have to test it out, but just Sisk would be pretty good.
Yeah.
Just gut feeling. Sure.
Who do you think of the team would win a hot dog eating contest?
I don't know. I bet Chamberlain. I've seen that man eat, and it's always the little unsuspecting guys that can put down food. So I think he could swallow a couple, and we wouldn't be able to catch up with him.
So last thing I'll ask before I let you go, we like to do a deep dive. Our social media manager, Nina, will go through your Instagram, try and find a picture to ask you about. And here's the picture I want to ask you about. Tell me what's going on here. Are you face palming your sister?
Yeah, that was on our annual trip to Florida. I don't know. I was really into Tim Tebow and Heisman pose back then, and so I think I did it a couple times, and I think my mom caught that one in action. And I haven't seen that picture in a while. It's pretty funny. But yeah, I think I just stiff armed my sister. So I don't know what was going on that day or why I was doing it, but it's pretty funny.
Well, Will, appreciate your time. Good to get to know you a little bit here on Chasers Chat. Best of luck the rest of the season, and looking forward to seeing what's ahead for you.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Excited to be here.